Some of you were asking me during this break that what are the, if not that kind of radical thought, what can we do almost immediately? To my mind, there are businesses which are like healthcare, for example, I think is going to be a very, very growing business in the future. It's not going to remain a monopoly of a large corporations, large hospitals. You can do lots of things in the healthcare, starting from a one-man show to 5 people, 10 people, lots of things you can do in the healthcare. You can start building a care for the elderly as a business, not only as a social activity, but you can start doing that as a business. You can start keeping some elderly people, they will pay you money. There are a lot of people Indians living abroad, those who are having difficulty in keeping their parents with them. Now we have with us Jason Blum, who was almost, people had lost faith in him, a disruptor and a motivator. Please come, Jason. Give him a big hand. Have you seen his movie, Paranormal Activity? All of you? He is the man. He made it.
Thank you. Thank you.
How did you start, Jason?
I started, let's see. I'm 46, so I started in the early 90s, and I started as an executive working for Miramax, for Bob and Harvey Weinstein. And I always wanted to have my own company, and 15 years ago, in 2000, I started my own company. Yeah. And I made 10 movies, and there were more people in the crew of the movies than who saw the movies.
Oh.
In other words, they did not do well.
Yeah.
They were more art house movies, they were independent movies. And so about 5 years into it, I decided what I really wanted to do was make a big studio movie. So I made a movie called The Tooth Fairy with The Rock. Do you guys know that movie? It was a family movie. Yeah. So I went to Vancouver and I produced this movie. It was a $65 million movie. And I was 35 years old, and I thought that was my dream, and I couldn't stand it. I thought being part of producing a movie that was that expensive, you had to make so many compromises. And I thought the producer was in charge, and really I was really an employee of people I didn't want to be an employee of. And about the same, and the positive thing about The Tooth Fairy, though, was that I saw how big movies got distributed. And The Tooth Fairy was distributed in a way that none of my other movies, obviously, had ever been distributed. And fortunately, Paranormal Activity and The Tooth Fairy came out at about the same time. And Paranormal Activity was also released by Paramount, by a big studio. And what I learned from those two movies happening at the same time, about 10 to 15 years into my career, is I had kind of combined two different things, which is independent filmmaking and studio filmmaking. And really that's what Paranormal Activity was. It was a movie made totally independently. I didn't make the movie. I actually saw, I can tell the story if you want. It's a separate story. But someone else made it, and it was about to go to video, and I got it distributed, and so I produced it. But what Paranormal Activity kind of showed was that there was, to me, was that there was a way to work on both sides of the movie business, the independent side and the studio side. And I was lucky that when Paranormal Activity became a success, I had worked for long enough in the business to not just try and make more expensive movies. Typically in Hollywood, success means more expensive. And I made a very conscious decision to try and repeat what happened with Paranormal Activity, which is to make very low budget, independent films and have them released by studios. And the first one we made after Paranormal Activity was Insidious. And then we've made sequels to that, and we made Sinister, and we made The Purge, and we made Ouija. And I guess about the third or fourth time, the second time people thought I was nuts, but the third or fourth time people kind of thought I We had something that was working. And now, our company does all different things. We do television, we do live events, we do haunted houses, we have a book division, we have an online place for scary stories called Blumhouse.com. But still, the main business of our company is very, very low budget, wide release movies. So I like to say that we brought the average price of a studio movie down by 90%. So the average studio movie is about $50 million, and we make our movies for about $5 million.
Wonderful.
That's the short version.
And on television also you do the scary stuff?
So what I'm trying to do with our company is create a world of scary stuff in every media. That's what I'm trying to do. So in TV, we also do scary stuff. Now, the way you define scary is different for everyone. We recently did a show called The Jinx for HBO. Did anyone see The Jinx here? Did that come out here? No one. Well, The Jinx was a scary show. It was a reality show about this guy who committed this terrible crime in New York, and it'll come here soon. You guys will see it. It's pretty cool. And we do scripted shows also, but we try and stick with scary. We don't always make them scary, but we try to.
But in India, when I started in 92 television, and there was a Ramsey brothers. They were also only in the same field as you are.
They were the scary movie producers?
Yeah, Ramsey brothers, 3 brothers. We started together on television first time.
Wow.
The Z Horror Show.
Oh, I did not.
I'm
know
sure
that.
none of these young boys might have seen because it was 93 to 95.
And what was the Z Horror
And
show?
my audience was from 6-year-old to 12 years old. It's a fact. So this was being watched by the just children.
But what was it? What was
All horror stories.
All scary
The name
stories.
itself was the Z Horror Show.
We should bring it back.
Yeah. I had some youngster came to me during the break. They have a question. What they were saying that they are studying in the management school and they want to start an event management business. But they went to their professor or teacher. He says, no, don't start. This is a bad business. Yes? Who said that? Just raise your hand. Who was asking this question? Yes. So he was told by his teacher that don't start this because there are companies, those who have made mark in the event management took 25 years. They didn't succeed. But in your case, for example, you succeeded just in about 1 week of your conviction and taking decision. So what would you tell them?
Oh, I would say definitely don't listen to your teacher.
Yeah.
I feel like people are always best at doing what they love. So if that's what your passion is, don't listen to there are always 100 reasons not to do something and very few reasons to do something. But I feel like the one thing that I have learned going through, and I've made many mistakes in my career, but that if you kind of pursue what you love, generally things work themselves out. They don't work themselves out like you think they're going to,
Yeah.
but they seem to work themselves out.
They will work out. Have faith, have confidence in yourself, just do things with the passion. If you believe in your idea, go for it. That's what Jason is saying.
I agree
Yeah.
with that.